Right. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your guy, Professor O, coming through with a dose of that good yo. Come everywhere like broken glass and around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. So I'm over here, right? First and foremost, the topic today is going to talk about away with the shame. That's one. Secondly, I'm re-listening to my videos just before I get involved in it, and I'm over there. I'm gonna play cool, calm, collected. Like, yeah, you know, this is what it's about. This is how you do it. You know, be humble. Cool, which is always a good thing, but I'm realizing that I'm listening to myself, I'm like, this is boring. And I'm already not even doing the edits that I desired. So come on, so again, apologize for that. So now I'm understanding, I'm like, alright, yeah, I can see why I've always been so cool. Because I'm watching my previous videos, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm bringing that passion, that good energy, you know what I mean? Other than that, I'm listening to the other thing being cool, like, you know, this, that, and the third. Because you know how I do. Still sexy, but just a little bit, you know, wasn't feeling it. But anyway, we back involved doing the good stuff going. So again, when I said agree with the shame, and what I mean that is, I'm good dealing with good fashion, good old, I don't know how to explain it, but it's exactly as it sounds, away with the shame. Now, you realize part of success is when you're on the path of success, you align yourself with that, how do you say, future self, as I always call it. And when you're putting yourself in position and you're seeing what you're doing, you're achieving your goals, you're gaining new trades, you're cleaning out all the old mess, adding in the new. But now you gotta also realize there's little things that could be hindering. And I've seen a lot of people also get hindered. And one of them is shame. Now, what is shame? Shame is loss of esteem, loss of self-esteem, or pretty much a dishonorable position. And that right in itself can just really deal with, how do you say, it can deal with uncomfortability when you're progressing. And that in itself is a very stumbling block. Why? Because first and foremost, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And secondly, when you're presenting yourself, and especially expressing yourself, you gotta realize when you're climbing up and you're getting in these other rooms and you're beginning to present yourself, etc., so forth, nervousness is perfectly natural, but at the same time, you want to be able to comfortably express yourself, so now you'll be able to say the right things at the right time, so you'll also be able to present yourself in a proper manner, so your first impression lasts as long in a positive way. I'll just keep it like, maybe it's a little, you know, you'd be surprised, because again, as you grow, you realize time is very precious in certain circles. But I digress, right? So again, what I say away with the shame is when you toss that away and realize, listen, when you're going through life and when you're progressing, when you're succeeding, there's going to be times where your project, oh man, this project messed up. Or it's going to be times where you're going to need to pronounce yourself and speak for yourself in a confident manner to be able to get your point across. For instance, if you believe in something wholeheartedly, your crowd will believe in it too, just based off your passion towards the subject. But if you're kind of, you know, iffy and offy, and you go, you know, I really do believe in this, and this right here, it'll work. This, that, and the third, you know, think about it. Would you believe in it? Imagine putting yourself in a commercial and you yourself or your talent is the product. And you want others to be able to join in on this product that is yours, that you're selling or whatever you're promoting. And you know that this talent or this subject or this item itself is so cool, it's so beneficial, it's so loving, it's needed, like this is the it, right? But if you're not backing it up with the confidence of it being that, which it can be, then how would you be able to expect others to believe in it yourself? You know what I mean? When you're dealing with progression and you're dealing with progressing, period, confidence is key in everything that you do. No matter what, even if you don't know the answer to a question, don't ever let that, down you. Just be like, I do not know that. What does that mean? Not knowing is nothing wrong with it. In fact, for you to be confident in you not knowing and uninhibited about how others feel about you not knowing will also benefit you in the future, because it shows that you want to know, you want to grow, you want to learn, which is such a beautiful thing in itself. So continue to grow, and continue to learn. And if you don't know something, do your due diligence to go and find out that something, if it benefits your progress towards your future. Simple as that. Now listen here, Adam and Eve before the fall, they didn't have shame, and they were naked and unashamed. You know what I mean? Because they wasn't worried about frivolous things like that. They was handling other things before the fall. Now, if they were unashamed and you got cell phones and a Jordan and some Jordans on your feet, you mean to tell me, literally, that you're going to sit there and be ashamed or unconfident about yourself? If you don't get it, you better stop. You better stop that. Cut that out and get to it. All right? Time is of the essence. Your dreams is your dream. Going out there and make it work so you can feel it, you can see it. It could be beautiful to you. You be like, wow, this is something that I created with God's glory. Right? Because if God wants you to go out there and present it and be beautiful and do that, you better go ahead and shine on. Shine on. Do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Right? I digress. I wrote some notes towards it. Interesting too as well. When you're even looking at a child, right? On my son, when he was young, he was, and this is what any child will show until they're taught, you know, proper public decency and the etiquette of being, the etiquette of public decency. You know, children don't know. They'll just go around, they'll laugh, make a mess, whatever the case may be. It's children, you know, they don't know. But if you see the confidence and expression themselves, that in itself is such a strong trait that a lot of us may lose during our growing up, because again, you gotta understand there's rules and regulations and laws that you have to abide to be able to conduct yourself in a proper manner, and it also shows proper development of your mental. But also, in that case of that happening, there's certain times where you may have been wrongfully penalized or it resulted in consequence that you may not have deserved, and may have stumbled your confidence in expressing yourself, and then now you may have a hidden little thing of shame in your back in your mental, which I highly suggest, you know, really doing some deep meditation, some prayer work, and to be able to get that out, so you can be able to present yourself in a proper manner and conduct yourself properly moving forward to the future, so you won't be able to be in a public setting and you're presenting yourself for something that may matter for your future. You don't come across as being anxious or shameful or overall unconfident or low self-esteem. Because again, when you're up there and you're doing it, even though you may not know what you're talking about, it's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. What does that mean? I want that one. I don't know what that means. Show me. This, that, and the third. Why? Because there's nothing wrong with not knowing. The fact of the matter is that you say confidently when you do not know shows that you're confident in yourself, regardless of whether you have the knowledge or you don't. Which is a strong trait that will carry you. It'll carry you far. Tremendously far. Right? So away with the shame, right? And I'll leave it just like that. I'm pretty sure you understand what I mean. I'm pretty sure you kind of got the gist of the message. And again, I want to apologize for my previous videos because I was even watching it. I came across this cool, but I haven't actually been watching all of my videos after I recorded, doing a little slight little edits to them in full to see the type of quality that I've been giving out. And I must apologize because as I was listening, when I was progressing through my day, listening to my videos, seeing if I get my message across more adequately, more confidently, making sure that you can at least understand it properly, man, I was falling asleep listening to it. I'm like, well, what is going on? Like, I'm listening to I'm like, this is trash. Oh no, this ain't no good. I might even delete them and redo them because that was just something, I definitely wasn't feeling that at all, right? But again, refinement, right? I'm not infallible here, right? Work in progress, developing just as you are. Work with me, getting the groove back, you know. But I definitely gonna start doing more edits. I gotta definitely start applying a little bit more to it, a little bit more of that, because that elbow grease. Can you dig it? I know you can, you know. Stop playing. Peace, love, and laugh. Appreciate you guys all the time. Again, this message is for the adept out there. The proficient, the efficient, the self-efficient, the expert, the master, the one that's out there doing it cool and never losing it, always growing, always golden, and you know never folding. Shout out to you and keep doing how you do it. Peace, love, and light. See you guys in the future. And again, for the haters out there that's always watching, spreading that word, keep spreading the good news about me. I appreciate the love. Peace, love, and light.